Hey, what's going on, Mark? Yeah. I mean, we on a better job. We around today, yeah?
It's a lot different like this.
For sure. How you doing, man?
All right. Man, I'm glad for this break in the weather. I know that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, John been oppressive. Yeah, I mean, it's that time of the year, though. It's about to cool down for us.
You heard about Rockville closing down?
No. Yeah, for sure they about to shut down. That's a good job, man. Get rid of them old penitentiaries. Yeah, I just came from an old joint. Dallas was like that. Dallas is like old, no type of air, small. So that joint like you in a cave.
Really? I spent the night there when they kicked me out of Waymart, but they kept me in I think like the gym or something. Are the cells? Are the cells solid doors or are they bars?
No, it's bars there. You know, that's the old school joint. They built that back in like the 50s and 60s or whatever case may be. So that's like old school penitentiary.
I can't do that.
Yeah, loud, hot, funky. Yeah, it's one of them type. Yeah, that's one of them type joints.
I was at Greater for like 3 years, but that they're solid doors. That I could do.
Yeah, solid doors. See, I could deal with the fort simply because it's closer to home, but those conditions there too, like, you know, we can look past a lot of stuff when you're in Grateford because of the environment and the resources that coming out of jail, but if you take all that out though, like you actually look at it for what it is, that's a oppressive spot too, as far as like the sewage backing up into your cell and the heat and it's just that's a heavy joint as well.
It makes a difference the time. You got how many years in?
I got 13 in now.
How many?
I got 13 there.
How much to go?
I got a life sentence, man. You know, I fell back in 25. I got a life sentence.
The LWOP, life without the possibility.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Pennsylvania, you know, they don't be trying to, they don't believe in reform, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They don't try to give no type of parole eligibility. You know what I mean, with the life sentences or whatever the case may be. So their whole thing is you gonna die in jail. You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
You know that they're waiting to rule on that Derek Lee until after the election.
Oh, that's what's taking so long.
I mean, and I heard this from a source who talks to the judges. And
it's a highly charged issue. I mean, from a political standpoint, I guess I can understand it though, because who want to sign their political career away on something like that, even though they got support from both sides of the aisle. You feel me? But you know what I mean, you know, they ain't looking at the human toll. They ain't looking at real life. They only looking at their political careers and things like that. So they're gonna pass that football as long as they can.
As long as they can.
Well, hopefully though, that's a good jump, because I had read the amicus brief from the Secretary of the Prisons or whatever case may be, from the governor and them. So it has a lot of support, like from their side. You feel me? It's just a matter of what do it look like to deem this to be unconstitutional now? Do the courts have to make a rule themselves, and do they got legislation from the bench, or will the legislator pick down the ground lines for it, or whatever the case may be? You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the straddle on the fence, like who gonna be in charge of like actually setting the guidelines and the numbers and the sentencing and things like that.
God damn. I mean, have you been studying the law since you've been in there? I know you've been on taxes and credit.
Yeah, I wound up get my paralegal diploma from Blackstone Career Institute or whatever the case may be. I mean, I see you got yours back there, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I see you. You know what I mean, my fellow Blackstonian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
The
yeah, man,
alumni.
yeah, you know what I mean, my fellow alum. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I feel like it's imperative, man, to learn the law because it's just not criminal. You feel me? It's civil, it's
Yeah.
business, it's wills and trusts. Like, yeah, I mean, the whole country is built on laws. You feel me? I mean, so everything
All
that we
laws.
do and we try to do has laws to support it, even when it comes down to like finances, whatever the case may be, like credit and how they deal with that. Like it's all based upon the laws that gets passed. You know what I'm saying? Did a course and it took me about I want to say a year or a little bit under a year to complete the course or whatever. But but for
That's
sure, I
about right.
studied the law every day, man.
Because you don't wanna finish that too fast because, and it even says that you can't finish it by this time. It has to be by, I think, within 2 years, but not
Facts.
before like 1 year. Because
Yeah,
you,
because you don't want to rush that. I mean,
yeah,
that's something that's very intricate. And if you finish the joint in 2 months, it's like, yeah, you ain't really,
yeah,
you know what I mean? You ain't really get it for real, you feel me? So it's like, I mean, it's tedious work if you take it serious.
yeah.
Um, I mean, unfortunately, we got the time to just sit down and like really go ape shit with it. You know what I mean? So that's all I was doing. I was just sitting around going ape shit, studying all day, 12
Yeah.
hour shifts, things like that. So, yeah, for sure.
But not everybody in there does that, and that's what sets you apart. That's
Yeah, for sure.
that's rare, and but that's the best thing to do. And I always thought about that. What made me think of that actually is when I got sentenced. I got sentenced to a 10 to 20 year for
Okay.
for drugs, and my mom came to visit me, and I told her my sentence, and she said, "Oh, it's such a waste." And that's what got me really thinking. I said, "Well, it doesn't have to be a waste. I can do something." I said, "Send me some educational books or something," and that was the start of it.
Yeah, because if
But
you treat it right, man, like if you move right in these joints, man, you can make it work for you. You feel me? Like, even though it's not designed for that, like, they can say what they want. Like, it's not designed for you to grow. It's not designed for you, like, to build and develop yourself. You feel me? But if you take it upon yourself or you get a spark in your brain to have somebody, like, motivate you to, like, yo, how about you, how you said, oh, it's such a waste. That sets something off in your head. No, I ain't about to let this be the waste. So you start going ape shit on shit, you feel me? But it's like, it's hard to do that, like in these environments when the majority of the people is not doing that, you feel me? So it's
yeah,
like, you don't know that you can sit around and get a degree in this, get certified in that, learn this and learn that. You feel me? So like, that's my main thing. Like I'm trying to turn this joint into college. You feel me? Because
right,
even though I got a life sentence, you know what I mean, I got my
yeah,
appeals in. I'm rigorously fighting, and that don't necessarily mean that I'm going to sit in the jail for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Not if I got something to do with it. You feel me? I'm gonna fight, fight,
right,
fight. Laws change all the time, and new evidence and braiding material and things like that. So we just keep fighting, we keep digging, but it's definitely hard, man, to figure it out, man. Once you figure it out that you could grow in this joint, you could build in this joint, you could pour into yourself, shit, ain't no limits then, you
yeah.
know?
Was it you that I was talking to where I said it's rehabilitation and education in there? It's like going against the current. It's
Facts, yeah,
it's like,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, and not just our peers, but the staff. It's like they just they just make it really hard. One of my friends actually, I have his discovery. He has his discovery too, and I've been uploading it onto these flash drives. And I said, here, I'll flip through just so you can see. And then he's seen something that he'd never seen, never heard didn't know it even existed. This was just a few days ago, and then when I read it, it was a whole another witness that knew the details and said he didn't do it, which was exactly what he's been saying this whole time, with those same details as this girl said. So if you're innocent, there's exculpatory evidence that can exonerate you. It's just how can we get it? Somebody's holding it.
I mean, for sure it's out there, man. Like, sometimes you need that fresh set of eyes, man. Like how you said, like, you got it, you was looking through it, you was showing them something that was in his face the whole time, and sometimes it don't hit you right away, right? But they know that though, right? So the people who design these laws, man, they get real crafty and they try to put time bars on stuff, right? To procedurally bar you, right? So you might have had something in your face, and you know we don't come from backgrounds of like law and education, period. You feel me? So you may learn something, you may be looking at something for years, and it's like it don't click until one day it's like, oh shit, the whole time this is that. Then when you try to raise it, they got these procedural hurdles in place saying, oh well, you know what I mean? Yeah, and they'll agree with you and say, yeah, you're absolutely right. And that would have warranted a new trial. But you didn't bring it up within a year, so your time bar. See what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I didn't know.
Right. How could we have known? You know, that's the law. Ignorance does not count.
There's no excuse.
There's no excuse for it.
This is why it's so important to go against these currents. This is why it's so like imperative, bro, for us to learn and educate ourselves and teach our folks as well, and teach the people around us, because ignorance is no excuse in the law. It's no excuse, and they ain't taking no shorts. So it's like, bro, we can't be sitting up in these joints and be playing games for you. Granted, there's nothing wrong with basketball. I mean, I got a basketball game as soon as I leave it. I'm ready to go jump right in that joint. You feel me?
Right.
But it's about prioritizing. It's about you can't sit around for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and all you did was play basketball, bro.
Yeah.
Because you look up 5, 10, 15, 20 years later and everybody going home but you. And then when you finally get serious and you look over your stuff and you like, oh damn, here it go right here. It's like, yeah, bro, you too late. You know what I mean? So how do you tell? Even when people ask me for advice, because one thing about me, I'm like a blatantly honest. I purposely don't soften the blow sometimes. I give you what it is, raw and uncut. No juice in the medicine, just pure medicine. Because we ain't got time to be playing no fucking games, you feel me? And if you come in with an issue and you like, alright, look, bro, I got the chick. She was offered a deal here, but da-da-da-da. Yeah, you're right. It is a Brady issue. She was offered a deal, it was never disclosed. Correct. But if you look right here, bro, it's in the public record. It's in the public record, bro. They gonna shoot you down, bro. I mean, so we ain't gonna waste our time on that, bro. We gotta find another avenue.
I ran into that numerous times. One of the big ones was people would say, and tell me if you haven't heard this, yo, I read that an illegal sentence is non-waivable.
Right.
I said,
you never raise it in the lower courts.
I said, I said, yeah, no, it's subject to the PCRA time limits, and they're like, no, it says it's non-waivable. I said, you can actually look up my case. I went through it, and the whole thing was I was entitled to triple RI, and then years later I started studying the law and learned that not only was I eligible for it, I was entitled to a triple RI hearing. So then I raised it, and I'm raising it saying my PCRA counsel wasn't effective. I said I should have had a hearing. This was in my transcripts because when I was sentenced, the judge and everybody said I could have a triple RI hearing, just not right there. My judge wanted to postpone it because she wanted to seem like she was hard on crime, on drugs.
Okay.
So she said on the record, we'll bring him down in 90 days or something. Oh, a matter of fact, we have video. We can do a video conference to do the triple RI. And then she asked, anybody object? No? All right, well, then we'll do 90 days. Then they all abandoned me. So I had somebody file a rudimentary PCRA, signed a PCRA attorney. I told him, explained to him. He files a Turner-Finley letter. And you know the procedure. The next step is then the judge is supposed to look at what we write, what our claim was, which my claim was simple, just one. I'm not claiming innocence. I'm just claiming I was supposed to have a triple RI hearing. It's in the transcripts. You know, can I have a copy of that? Denied. Your PCRA is denied. So that's when I started studying the law, found the cases Commonwealth versus Tobin and Robinson. I'm entitled to triple RI, appealed it, and it went before her again. She's not admitting to no mistakes. I get all the way to the federal courts, and every step I'm asking for these transcripts. I'm saying it's right there. The federal judge gave me my transcripts, and then he made the ruling and even said, even though your sentence is illegal and that's a non-waivable issue, I have to waive it pursuant to the PCRA. Even though this is non-waivable, I have to waive it.
Right. That's the thing though too, man, cause that hit you where it hurt, man, cause that'll tell you like, yeah, you got an illegal sentence. Like they basically saying, yeah, you're right, you got us. But things that we fit this little hook in there, you're done, right? And it's like, bro, plenty of times I heard that. Plenty of times I've seen that, bro, when brothers come to me and be like, bro, this your illegal sentence is non-waivable, I'ma raise it. I'm like, bro, you know, everything is, I can't find the word, but everything is packaged together, bro. If you didn't raise that in the lower court, the feds is not going to let you raise that up there. You can only raise up there what you raise down there.
It's another one of those stupid things.
Yeah, from the law standpoint, I get it. I get why they doing it. I actually understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand why they do it, how they do it. You feel me? That's the judicial economy and all that. I understand it, but on paper, it's good. It look good. It sound good on paper. To make it easy for you to do your job, it's good. But in practicality with real life consequences, it's treacherous. It's treacherous because you will have a person that's innocent. You have a person that has a wrong sentence, wrongfully convicted, sitting in jail simply because you want to streamline your workflow, simply because of a procedure so you didn't raise it in time. Oh, you just now learned this. That's on you. You should have been through this. And I get it, but I don't agree with it at all.
I mean, how are we supposed to know that? You know, our public schools didn't teach us. That's what we should be entitled to, you know, you can expect me to know, you should expect me to know algebra. I went to your school, you know, and I may have forgot it, but that would be my fault. That would be my ignorance. But you never taught me the law.
See, but
that's not my fault.
Like, the system not broken. Like, the system is operating and working just how it was designed to work. They know this already. They know this. They don't care about that. They need us not to know, right? Because prison has become such a industry that they need the ignorance. It don't work without it. They need the poverty. It don't work without it. They need us to not know this stuff, depend on the lawyers. Then the lawyers that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. Then it's like they're fucking us with no Vaseline around this joint. Right? They'll like that's just what they get into. Like my case for instance, right? Like I had a self-defense case. You feel me? Like
is yours first or second degree?
Mine's is first degree. They convicted me on first degree, right? But my case was a self-defense case.
That's right.
Even the evidence that the prosecutors presented at trial shows like self-defense. Like, but they will ignore all that to try to get their verdict. You feel me? Because I fell under the regime of Seth Williams and them. Their whole thing was they trying to get convictions, and they're going for the highest conviction there. Period. Right. So me being a young black man from the community I'm from, they ain't trying to hear no self-defense, man. A person like me, you can't claim self-defense, right? They don't understand how it is to be in our environments. Once again, on paper, they only on paper type of people. They only theory type of people. They don't know how to apply that practically to real life scenarios. You feel me? So a situation had happened when one of my folks had an incident with a guy at a bar after hour, whatever the case may be, and they came to my house. They told me what happened, and I'm like, all right, well, we got to go talk to him. You know what I mean? So we can squash the beef. They don't understand that in the environments that we from, you can't just let things linger around without
No.
knowing.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you.
without having a resolution, without knowing what's going on, that's dangerous. You could die like that. You feel me? So
Yeah.
me growing up, I developed the ability to be able to like talk to both sides of the aisle and figure it out for ourselves, so that we could come to a resolution. You feel me? Because calling the police, first of all, you don't even have no constitutional right to the police to come. Period. So they be trying to always act like, oh, well, you should have called the police. There is no constitutional right to y'all. I call you, you don't even have to come. And I call you, and you don't resolve the situation in the manner that needs to be resolved. You gonna come lock this ball up. He gonna go to jail, be mad as shit. Come back home like, yo, you and them just got me booked.
Yeah.
Like, that's furthering the situation. You feel me? So growing up in the environments that we grew up in, I've learned how to diffuse things. You feel me? So my whole thing is, yo, let's go around there, man, so we can go squash beers, man. So we can diffuse the situation. You feel me? We go around there, man, so I can diffuse the situation. Long story short, me and the guy wound up talking to each other one on one. You know what I mean? Because when you talk on one on one, you get the real individual. There's nobody there, no pride, no none of that stuff. You feel
Yeah,
me?
we talked
So,
about that before. Yeah.
so it's like you get to be yourself, he get to be himself, and we get to come to a real resolution. So it's no more bullshit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So freaking, so we're having a conversation, we trying to figure it out. That's not going well. You feel me? I recognize that. You feel me? So I go to leave, I go walk off. All right, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Cause this shit ain't going right. As I'm walking off, you know what I mean? He say when I'm walking off, I turn around and I look. As I'm turning around, he pulling out a gun. So it's like at that point, it's like, what do? You feel me? I mean, he pull out his gun. I gotta defend myself.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, so we out there and we wind up. Shit got crazy.
Is there any
Yeah.
is there any witnesses that say that he pulled the gun out, or is there any like proof
That's
that?
the thing. There was no witnesses as to what actually took place around that corner. You feel me? The only witnesses is people who speaking about what happened prior to us going around there, then me getting out the car, going around the corner. You feel me? So once I go around the corner, there's nobody knows what happened. So at trial, I wanted to get on the stand in my own defense. My lawyer wouldn't let me get on the stand in my own defense
That's
because
another
now
thing.
I know from learning, there's no proper way to establish a self-defense except for me to get on the stand and let the jury know what took place around that corner. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. How
So
could you? That's
There's no other way.
Damn.
So I went to trial with a self-defense joint, but I had my hands tied behind my back because my lawyer he wouldn't even let me get on the stand in my own defense. So we
That's
looking goofy in the courtroom. You feel me? But
yeah.
he's trying to rely strictly off of the physical evidence, strictly off of the testimony of the Commonwealth. But it's like, bro, we gotta get our story out there.
Yeah.
That's the part of my trial that's missing. What actually took place around the corner, you feel me? Even though it's a bullet, even though in the spot that the Commonwealth is saying that I'm standing there, there's a bullet right there. You feel me? Things like that. Like if you saying I'm on this side of the street, I'm firing that way, and the only way for a bullet to be right here where I'm standing at is if somebody's on the opposite side of the street firing towards me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? He want to rely on that, but he's not highlighting. He's not highlighting that. He's just like he's making passive references of the stuff. So it's like the jury was left with just like they looking like, all right, like you ain't gonna put on, like you ain't gonna put on no defense. So it was like an accumulation of things what led to them convicting me of murder one. But if you ever look at, well, if you look at the evidence itself, you'll see like, yeah, this is definitely not this is definitely not a case where it's a murder one case. You know what I'm saying? But these are the type of things that we don't know prior to trial from coming off the streets, and these are the type of things that certain regimes in the system were trying to like brush up under the rug. That's why I big up with the guy like Krasner, what he doing in the city for like. His whole thing is he ain't even like he just trying to be fair. His
Right.
whole thing is do it right. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? So I have a pill right now in front of him, but right now, and it's I mean, like I have a new witness. I found the witness who was out there who saw what took place on the block that morning. You feel me? I got some Brady evidence and things like that. Y'all make it offer one of the witnesses deal, but they never disclosed it to the defense. So that's what's currently
The
before
DA
the
knew
courts
now?
right now.
The prosecution knew?
Yeah, the prosecutor at trial offered one of my witnesses a deal, but they never disclosed it. So this is just now coming to light.
When did you
You feel what
file
I'm
your
saying?
appeal?
I filed my appeal at the end of 2024. So right now I'm waiting on the DA to answer to it. You know what I mean?
Do you know
They
what the
just asked for a
status
few
is of it?
continuances. Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to answer. They filed a few continuances and things like that.
But it
We
is
just waiting for
filed.
them.
It's on record.
Yeah, it's filed, it's active, it's on the record. You know what I mean? We in there. It's time, but because what I did was I went up to the feds because I got the new evidence when my first PCRA was pending in the Superior Court, right?
Okay.
So when I got that, all right, so Commonwealth versus Clark, I can't file two petitions at the same time, right? So what I did was I waited until I got done with the lower court. I went to the feds and I asked for a stay in abeyance, right? I mean, so I put the stay in. I gave the feds the evidence. I let them see it, saying, "Look, I gotta shoot back down to the lower court so I can litigate this." Blah blah blah. So the feds granted me the stay. That I shot back down to the PCRA court, and I filed my second PCRA. You know what I mean? So that's what's currently pending right now. So now I'm just trying to like, yeah, I'm in Philadelphia with it. You know what I mean? So now I'm trying to like raise the funds and get the money up so I could pay for a lawyer to properly litigate because I got good issues. But I just need a good lawyer that's gonna properly litigate my man, because like these bulls, man, they be cooking us.
You know they switched judges in Philly.
I heard.
The PCRA judge is It used to be with DiCario something.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
said he
yeah.
was doing some shady stuff. They let him resign, and this lady came in. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. She's taking care of Jason Perez. That's next month, and
Okay.
it looks like it's gonna go in his favor. I hope that I'm right.
Facts.
I know it can go any which way, but
Yeah, that's the
it,
sad thing, man.
it,
There's so many conflicting laws, man. You know
they
what I mean? It's a
yeah, that's
sad job.
one of the big things out here now is the Second Amendment. Did you study federal law, the Constitution and stuff, as opposed to state?
Not not heavy. Like I'm more like in the state with it.
Our federal constitutional rights, the Bill of Rights,
Right.
amendments 1 through 10. They're supposed to be our absolute rights. In fact, there's an
Facts.
amendment that says these rights shall not be abridged, not circumvented for any reason. That's what it says. Can you think of a few that they abridge and circumvent on a
Yeah.
regular?
All
The
of them.
Second
All of
Amendment.
them.
I'm not allowed to own a
Second
gun,
Amendment. Right.
yet I have a
They
Second Amendment
circumvented the
right
crap
to it.
out of that. Right. Yeah, I never understood that.
I can't
I never
protect
understood
myself.
that. Bro, we can't even wear body armor, bro.
Yeah.
Like, now I've been down for 13 years. I've been working on myself for 13 years. You feel me? That's what I do. I do the work. You hear me? So I'm with a reasonable degree of certainty. You hear me? How can I say when I go home, I'm not getting into nothing illegal. It's not my thing. You feel me? I can't even wear a piece of body armor to protect myself. Or I'm going to, no gun, no nothing. All right, cool. I can't own a gun. Let me wear some body armor, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, some people look like, all right, so if you ain't doing nothing illegal, why you need body armor? Because you could be in Walmart nowadays shopping with your kids, and somebody could come spray that joint
Yeah.
up. Now I just got out of jail from doing all this time I'm out here in Walmart to get killed. Like I'm not trying to go out like that. You feel me?
And it
Like,
happens,
it happens all the time.
especially in
All the
Philadelphia.
time. So it's like there's nothing wrong with, in my opinion, with a person who is convicted of a crime to have a gun, to have some body armor, as
That's
long as you're
that's
not
the
acting
constitutional
nefarious with
right.
it.
Yeah.
That's your constitutional right. I mean, so for all these people who conservative and constitutional type of people, what's the issue? Oh, it's cool for you, but it ain't cool for me, huh?
Yeah.
Or it ain't cool for him, or it ain't cool for her.
I thought of this, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm open-minded. I've been wrong before, but my opinion on the Second Amendment and the right to own a gun, I really believe that everyone should either be entitled to the gun, to possess a gun, like the Constitution says, or abolish it in its entirety. Like England, they don't have any gun rights, and you see not even the police, and how many people are shot and killed there. But if even a criminal, let's say hypothetically, there's a criminal, a drug dealer, he buys a gun because now he has a right. He's going to be less inclined to shoot somebody knowing that bullet can come back to him. That's what I'm thinking. It's real easy to pull out and shoot when it's an illegal gun, but when you're legally allowed to possess and you have your own gun, your mentality changes about how you use that.
See, that's another example of they coming with theory and paper things, right? And what you just said is practicality in real life. They don't know that side. They really don't know how it is to be in our environments, to do the things that we once did. You absolutely right. If you make it law now that everybody must have a gun, right? Everybody must have a gun, and the gun must be in your name. I guarantee you that'll bring the crime rate down. It'll bring the shootings down. Because of what you said. Who's going to just go and shoot somebody randomly now, or go shoot a club up and try to get away, or
and
or
knowing
lock up?
that everyone else has a gun. I'm not
That
pulling a
part
gun
too.
out if I know they all got guns.
And this is why I support you 100%. Because if I got a gun and you got a gun and we in Walmart shopping, doing something that's legal, minding our business, and somebody come randomly shooting up Walmart, I'm gonna bust his ass or her ass.
I'm
That's
gonna
just
put a
what it is.
stop to that mass
Because
shooting.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna protect myself, and I'm going, and then now we go into narrative, right? Because these people, because it seemed like to me like all the mass shooting like started with like Columbine, right? And but the narrative is always active shooter, mass shooter, shoot everything up for 20 minutes. Nobody was there to stop it. Either they killed themselves or once the police finally came in, the police killed them. But I bet you if the narrative was a man attempted to shoot a Walmart and got his ass bust, right?
yeah,
It's going to deter the future people from doing it. The reason that it's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger is because there's no resistance. They call them soft targets. It's because there's no
yeah,
resistance there.
yeah,
But now you change the narrative, like, yo, yeah, he tried to spray the Walmart up, but the ladies in Walmart bust his ass. So I'm saying, so
yeah,
it's like, yeah, all right, yeah, we ain't gonna go shoot Walmart. That man, so it's like, yeah, I
yeah.
agree with you
We ain't
100%,
taking
man.
that lady's purse. She's carrying.
Yeah.
We don't
He
know
tried to
who's
snatch
carrying.
our
He
purse.
might be carrying. If I go to take that purse, he might try to be a good Samaritan. He risking that.
Right.
That's the truth too. It's being in those environments that I've learned that people won't do certain things when they know that that person could
There's
be
consequences.
protected,
Exactly.
even though he may not have protection himself, but somebody around him may. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that keeps the peace.
This,
I mean, it's sad to
this is
think
why
like that,
like
but
the
that's
guards don't understand. No, that's 100%. Like the guards, like I tell the guards all the time, let the block run itself.
yeah,
Because when you stepping in, you fucking up the balance now. Because this fucking weirdo is gonna do some weird shit. Because now he knows that you're going to protect him or back him or make sure he's okay. If you back off and let this shit run by itself, you're not going to do certain things when you're in
yeah,
certain environments. When you know that a person can like jump on your ass. You ain't
yeah,
gonna act a certain way. You're gonna be a little bit more humble. If you're humble, you're gonna be yourself. You ain't gonna start no bullshit, right? Because you got people who will go and owe him all this money, and he owe him all this money, and he owe him all this money, and then he go to the police and say, "Yeah, I need to get off the block because I owe people, and now move on." No,
yeah.
because he gonna go to another block and do the
The
same thing,
same thing.
and then they gonna move him, and they gonna do the same thing, and they gonna move him. No, let his ass sit there, owe them people that money,
Yeah.
because you gotta learn how to deal with your responsibility and
That's
deal with
the
the consequences of your action.
that's a building designed for justice and consequences. Right. Let me ask you this, June.
Yeah.
When you say people owe money, I remember that all too well. When I left, though, I noticed that the money sort of the debt transitioned from stupid stuff. It all went to e-cigarettes. Is that the issue? Is that an issue there? Like I've been trying to and I had two manufacturers willing to meet the specs of whatever the DOC says. The DOC says the
Listen.
reason is because the e-cigarettes and vapes that are out here have a nail in the battery. That's the reason. So
Right.
I found two manufacturers. Unfortunately, they were in China, and the tariffs popped off, so that sort of got stymied. But wouldn't
Listen,
that?
man, that shit, man, all they did was reinvent the motherfucking crack pipe, you hear me?
Exactly. That's it. It made the prison look like Kensington, and nobody's focusing on rehabilitation. There's people that are giving up their hygiene and food
Facts.
for a
They just wanna
recharge.
puff. Oh, yes, yes. Now, granted, I mean, where I'm at right now, I mean, I'm in Chester right now, so this the only Pennsylvania jail that don't do e-cigs. You feel me? But I just came from Dallas. I came from
They
Florence and
don't
all
what
that, right?
there?
They don't sell e-cigs here. I mean, you can't even get an e-cig in here. Nope. Nope.
I
Nope.
didn't know that.
Not in Chester.
I know
It's
from
the
back
only
in the
one.
day they had no tobacco products. They didn't. I don't think they had coffee back in the day because
Right.
it was a
Right.
drug treatment jail.
Right.
But
Yeah,
they,
that's
I
why they
thought
ain't got the nicotine.
they changed it. That they changed the jail. And they didn't put.
Listen, I came down here from Dallas with like 8 fucking e-cigs. They took that shit at the door. They confiscated that shit. Yeah. So here, it's not a problem. But you know they got the other shit. But the other jails, the e-cigs is like high demand. Like motherfuckers are like, how you said they selling the cosmetics. Motherfucker might sell their ass for e-cig up there. Yeah? Like that shit is
Yeah,
bad. Yeah,
it's
because it's
sad,
pure
man.
nicotine.
I have always thought like the people that come out of Chester are have like a higher, probability of success. And from the
Okay.
people that I've even talked in there, read their articles, like I always thought, dang, they seem like they're educated. They're reading.
Oh, for
Obviously,
sure.
they're using words like obstreperous and inclination. That's not something you see. And now that you said that there's no e-cigarettes there, that sort of makes sense. If you don't
There's
have
no
that,
ease and there's resources.
uh,
There's resources here. You hear me? It's It's college courses here. There's people coming from the outside constantly in here. The education department here is the shit.
that's good.
It's the shit,
The
right?
staff there
So it's like,
are cool. I mean, fair.
see the staff here. Ah.
Yeah,
Man, you know we in the city. You know what I'm
up
saying?
and down.
But the programs here is where it's at.
Yeah.
This is why you getting the outcome that you see from this prison. They got Drexel in here. They got the University of Penn in here. They got they got Eastern University in here. They got different resources and courses and things like that. That if you utilizing them, you for sure gonna benefit. This was a program jail, so they
Yeah.
was running a lot of programs. It's not a program jail no more, so it's not as much as it was. But from my experience, it's still shitting on any other jail I ever stopped at.
I mean, that should
And they
be
ain't got no e-cigs.
that should be a model right there. And I'm not saying to get rid of the e-cigs, although I've talked to people like my friend Bashir at Phoenix, and I mean he's asking me to borrow $10, give him $10 for an e-cigarette all the time. He said, I asked him, I said, would you rather them get rid of e-cigarettes or offer an alternative? He said, I'd rather them get rid of all the tobacco products. To be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, 'cause
I
it's
never
saving
met
money.
anybody in there who was smoking e-cigarettes who didn't say they didn't want to quit.
Right.
Or at the very
just like
least,
crack.
offer some, because it's a money racket. Offer an alternative. This was $20 and it lasts me 3 weeks.
Yeah, see, they don't have no rechargeable
Yeah,
type of
that's-
joint. They joint is just like a certain amount of puffs and it's dead. You know what I mean? You got to find a way to recharge it, and
Yeah, and it's
that's a whole
expensive.
other project.
The dollar ratio in there, I forgot what the math was, but it's almost like equates to like $100 per $1. So, or
Yeah, like if you bring the
50.
e-cig in Chester right now, you probably get like $100 for one e-cig right now. And it's
Yeah, I
just-
could say, yeah. Did you guys get people from Rockview there?
Yeah, a few dudes just came down from Rockview. They've been transferring a lot of guys down this joint.
Yeah.
I mean, I only really been here for like 6 months for real. You feel me? I mean, so I'm fairly new, but I just be making my way around this joint. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's my thing, and I see how they got it set up, and it's like, yeah, this joint the shit. I
So
mean,
it's
resources-wise,
almost
like,
time to cut off. They're gonna cut us off.
oh yeah,
But,
for sure.
anytime you want to do this, man, it's really good to have somebody who wants to talk positive. That's what I want.
Right.
I really want people to see that, hear that, and I'm trying to put something together for the schools. You know, my school, they changed the construction of it. I went in it the other week, and it's like a prison. Like there's a bubble.